welcome to the Awakened and Aligned podcast and YouTube show. My name is Shannon Kaiser. I am so thrilled and honored and happy to be here with you today. We have a topic that is dear to my heart. I say that a lot because I wouldn't be sharing it if I didn't care, if it wasn't something that was so pressing that I knew I needed to get out there. And this content seems to be really resonating with you, with many of you over on Instagram. And that's what today's post and video is inspired by. I've been sharing a lot over on Instagram to help us really reclaim our power, help you understand your worth, and help you really step into a place of sovereignty with self love. So, everything that we do here is about authenticity and connecting you back to your true self. A lot of times in the world, we get caught up with trying to please others or find our worth in external validation, or we're looking to just fit in and we lose ourselves along the way. So, this is about reclaiming you, coming back to you, and really owning your true divinity, your gorgeous, awesome light. So, today, some things to consider. These are some of the things that are really important on your path to wellness. And we can really frame it up as, I'll be sharing kind of the Instagram posts, but really we frame it up as protecting yourself and honoring your worth, surrounding yourself with people who really care about you genuinely, not allowing yourself to be used or manipulated. So it is about healing, self-love, and spirituality. I bring psychology into it as well. Now, I'm here in Mexico. You may be hearing the tropical birds or dogs barking or any of the crazy, awesome, amazing, vibrant noises. So that's just part of the experience today. The first thing I want to share with you is actually a quote by Ryan Inthis, and he says, "Any loss you experience from speaking your truth isn't a loss, it's alignment." Mm-hmm. This one's so important. If we really start to look at where we've been hiding ourselves and not speaking up or sharing our voice, a lot of times we do this because we have been taught that sharing our perspective, feeling our feelings, speaking up about them will result in shame or blame or just a complete deflection. So we shy away from it. We will inevitably on our healing journey start to realize the power of speaking up and owning our worth and using your voice. And when you start to speak up and share what is important to you, and people around you don't handle it or freak out or blame, it's okay, because it's not really a loss when you lose these people. You're aligning to people who really care about you and understand and want to hear you and want to honor where you are as you are. So if you're speaking up and you're losing people, which is what's been happening to me, recognize that it is not at all a loss. You are allowing yourself to be you. You're allowing yourself to share your beautiful heart and your voice and your mind with the world, and that is never loss. So let alignment happen. That's that process. As you share, other people will care, and those that don't, they fall away, and it's okay. And the next one I want to share with you is unconditional love does not mean unconditional acceptance of bad behavior. Now, the Brown daughter speaks on this and she talks to this quite a bit. What's interesting is in the spiritual community and the self-help community, a lot of us, we say love, accept others for where they are, honor them wherever they are. You don't take things personally when you realize everyone's just acting from their own level of consciousness. Yes, all that is true. But what's also true is in loving someone, you do not let them mistreat you or neglect or disrespect you. That is an acceptance of bad behavior or making excuses for behavior that is harming you. And so this is self-sacrificing, and it's not actually allowing yourself to truly practice unconditional love for yourself. So sometimes boundaries are important, and putting them in place is really a part of this process for you to step into knowing your worth. So look at your relationships, look at where you have been allowing other people to kind of skate by. A lot of times we will do this if we're people pleasers. We may do this by other people sharing they're always down and out, or they have that victim kind of mentality, and we're always wanting to be there for them and help. But if you're doing it at the sacrifice of self, then you're not really doing anyone good. any good. You're not doing any good. So it's about reclaiming yourself again, but pulling your energy back, because it's not your job to save or fix anyone. You can show up for you, and you start to pull back and reclaim your energy. The dynamic of the relationship will change. And in this, you start to see people's true colors. Either they are using you for what you could give them, or they genuinely want you to be healthy too. you know, um, it's interesting because Alex Harmozy says most people don't actually want the best version of you. They want the version of you that best serves them. This is another one that is very common with people pleasers. We start to show up in a place where those around us are really just interested in what we can do and what you give them: time, money, energy, knowledge. And it falls into a place of you are building a connection and wanting to grow the relationship, but they're using you. And so look at that a little bit deeper. I started to look at my connections, and I recognized I had some people in my life, in my close circle, who I felt were really there for me. uh they would celebrate my wins, new book deal or a retreat that would sell out or new coaching clients. They were there for that. But when I was really going through it or had some really hard times in life, they were just missing, MIA. They could never be there for me in the real tough times. And more importantly, I started to analyze the times we would talk was always almost when things were going good. So it felt a little bit like toxic positivity. But more importantly, the things we talked about were almost always business and the running a spiritual business, running a entrepreneur. And I started to pull back and not talk about that as much. And then I noticed the relationship shifted, and I realized that I had quite a few people in my life who were really just interested in picking my brain or using the time and energy of myself of how to build a business. And a lot of times they weren't willing to do the work themselves. They just kind of wanted that quick fix of how to grow a following or meet, sell more books. Or you got to be willing to do the work to grow in life. And if you're using people as a means to an end, then those are the type of people I don't really want in my life. And so I started to do a great overhaul and cut people out ruthlessly, because I put a lot into my connections, and I deserve and want the same. And I want that for you as well. So I'm going to close on, let's do another one here. This is, yeah, so we'll do two more. We have an environment where it is not safe to disagree or share your feelings is not an environment focused on growth. It is an environment focused and based on control. Now, I wanted to share this one because there are a lot of times where we don't even realize that we're being controlled or manipulated, but we start to recognize we don't feel comfortable speaking up. We don't feel safe to share our needs. Maybe in your life, you have grown up where you've learned that it's unsafe to share, and you were always talked over or told that your needs don't matter. And so you've internalized this, and now you're around a lot of people who take from you, and you are in an environment, whether it's your own home or the work situation, and you just feel like you can't truly express yourself. And then if you do try, it comes out in a way that doesn't feel like it's being honored. And so this is actually an environment that is based on other people wanting to control you versus truly understand you. So look at your relationships and look at the ones that really feel like they want to understand and come together with you from a place of growth and love, or do they take, manipulate, and control? The final one that I'm going to share with you today is you don't need to walk away to teach people a lesson. You walk away when you finally learn yours. And this is an unknown quote that's been circling around, but I posted it on the Instagram as well. And interesting enough, this one is so powerful because I have personally been doing a lot of kind of cutting away, blocking, even changed my phone number and moved to a whole new country. It's not that I'm running away from these toxic people. I'm just following my bliss and truly living a life that feels good for me. But in part, yeah, changing the phone number was to completely go no contact and cut myself away. I've been doing a lot of work on looking at why I was in so many relationships, and whether they were friends or romantic or even work situations where people were taking, using, and abusing. That's a whole nother video I'll be sharing soon, because there's always two parts, right, to this. But recognize that when you walk away, it's not, you're not walking away to truly, if you're saying I'm going to go no contact or walk away from these toxic connections to show them, to get them to change, that's not the effort or energy you want to be in at all. That's a manipulative energy and kind of playing the same game and vibration that they're in. What you really want to do is just say, you know what, I deserve better. I know my worth. I am absolutely not going to allow myself to be around people who will treat me this way and be okay with it. I will not allow myself to be in situations that cause me harm emotionally, physically, spiritually, or mentally. And I'm going to walk away because I've learned my lesson. And once you walk away, whew, the universe will support you. It will give you and allow you to show up for you because you broke the pattern. You broke free. So give yourself permission to truly allow yourself to learn lessons so you can live the life that you're meant for with joy and ease. My wish for you is that all your relationships are safe, loving, and kind and expansive, starting with the relationship you have with yourself. That is the goal of all these videos and this podcast, to really let you come back to you, return to you, love you, and be who you are as you are, and know that you are magnificent. Thank you for joining today. And if this content's resonating with you, give it a thumbs up, a like, subscribe. Love to hear your comments below. See you next time.